Hi, everybody. Just waiting for everything to load on my system. Happy Monday. There we go. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I don't know if you're getting ready to host for Thanksgiving or do something on your own. But when you get on here, tell me hi. Tell me what you're working on. I'll give it a minute or two for a bunch of people to jump on. I hope I have a bunch of people jump on. Hi, Holly. Thank you. Hi, Bonnie. Oh, I was talking to my daughter earlier today, and I feel like I missed a whole day somehow. I was telling her she had things to do today and tomorrow, so we were ready for Thursday, and she was like, there's a Wednesday in there somewhere. So bonus, I have one more day than I thought. Nancy, Tammy, Jackie, Bonnie still working on clue 5 of Snarkle Meter. That's a fun one. I know she's got a couple other that are that same shape. Somebody brought me one. Who brought that for me? Julie. No, I can't think. It's cool. Sarah started a Palm Rocks hat. Mom knitting on You Are Enough. Stacy. Sherry, thank you. Sherry says, I love your cowl. Thank you, Sherry. I love it too. I'll talk about it in a second. I'm trying to get better about actually like starting on time. So we'll see how it goes. Hi, Shar. Winding for the baby blanket. Excellent, good. I love it. People have babies, grandbabies, great grandbabies. That's where we shine as knitters and crocheters. Let's make all of that stuff. So welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is Monday, November 22nd. My name is Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop in downtown Saginaw, Michigan. Every week I do a live on Facebook at 7 p.m. Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, which is now Eastern Daylight Time for those of you who don't have to deal with the time change twice a year. Bonnie, any suggestions for using leftover Dreaming Color Suzette? Let me think on that one. Joyce Osloff, excellent. Oh, you guys are working on all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you know what, Lisa, I think it's sometimes Eastern Standard Time, sometimes it's Eastern Daylight Time. I saw that abbreviated somewhere else. I didn't even know it was a thing, but I assume that's what EDT is. Who knows? We're in the Midwest. Hi, Aunt Jackie. I see you're on here too. So that's who I am, where the shop is. What am I wearing? This cool towel is called It Couldn't Be Easier. Like, what kind of name is that? By the Knitting Tree. Couldn't be easier. Uses 100 grams each, or around 100 yards each, of 2 colors of chunky. It is a paid for pattern, and it's worth it in that it is very simple, but it's a unique technique. So it's nice and long, completely reversible, other than, you know, where I wove my ends in, but we hide that in the back. I have, every once in a while, I have somebody comment on how that they love their cowl or their scarf, but they don't like the wrong side. This one, you can't tell the difference, which I think that's really cool. So it's long. If I hold it singularly, let me get back here. Very long. If you have broader shoulders, it's still going to be plenty long. Jackie says I look so cute. Thank you. So it's called It Couldn't Be Easier. And what I used was Malabrigo chunky, which I know some of you have heard me rant about how Malabrigo calls their sock yarn sock, and most people assume that means it has nylon. They call this chunky. It's not chunky, it's bulky. Like, it's called chunky, but the very first thing they say is bulky. These are the two colors I used, pearl and black forest. It's a black and a gray. It looks really great as a neutral to go with anything. And really, look at that. It doesn't matter how I wind it. It still looks pretty cool. So I do have yarn available for those. I have enough for 6 sets. And the cost would be, oh, look at that. Did I give you that already, or did you just figure it out on your own? Melissa's way ahead of me. So you get 2 skeins of yarn. If you go on and look at Ravelry, the pattern is a $4 pattern. We'll discount it to you, or include it in the cost of the kit, 2 skeins of chunky. So I've got 6 of these, I think, which are the 2 in my sample. And I was playing around with other combinations. I think this one would be really, really cool. I know I have a lot of red and blue girls, although the red and black would be so many choices. Yeah, she probably is just making stuff up as she goes along. If there is something you see throughout the live and you would like to have us set aside, you would like to purchase some, all we need to know is what you want. If there's a specific color, give us that, and whether you want to pick it up or have us ship it to you. And Melissa keeps track of all of that behind the scenes. What size needle? That's a good question. I keep thinking there's more information I need to put on my little cards, but I don't want to make them too full. I had it downloaded, but I don't think I do anymore. Size 11. Melissa, she's on it. So chunky yarn, it goes fast. Or if you've got some, it would be really cool if you used like black, and then either if you had leftover chunky yarn from something, or that rainbow, that earth rainbow chunky, that was the harmony color, would look, the one that I used for my sweater, that would look really cool in this too. Red and black. Okay, we'll set that aside. Melissa's always up to no good. Yes, yes, yes. So combinations again. So $27 for a cowl kit. It's not a bad deal. That's 2 skeins of Malabrigo chunky and the pattern. And really, you could whip one of these up in a night or 2. It's pretty simple. As long as you can cast on, you can knit, you can purl. And the trickiest thing is probably joining in the round to make sure it's not twisted, but that would be kind of cool too if it was, well, I don't know if that would work the way it is. Maybe I'll make one and try that. Hi, Bev. Thanks for joining. So, all right, that's what I'm wearing. What did I finish? Well, I told you last week I finished my steel stout shawl wrap, but I didn't show it because it was home blocking. But now I can show you this beautiful thing. Look at how gorgeous that is. And it's huge. This is 1 skein of ridiculous, 1 skein of fingering weight yarn, essentially. The original pattern is written for a gradient set. If you have, I think we talked about this before, if you have, or we're looking at one of these gradient sets from Earth, sneak peek, I haven't shown you guys this one yet. It would work really well for this, but I decided I just wanted to try it in one color. This was my travel project, so I wanted to just keep it going. Black and pink, black and orange. I don't know if I have a pink. I have like this color orange, like a gold more than an orange, but that would look kind of cool, Cora. So I have a few skeins. Let's go back to that for a minute. I do have a few skeins of Mint Rain. She used to be a local dyer. She moved out of state, but I had a few skeins of her bulky left. And Malabrigo's colors, well, the ones I have tend to be more solid. These are all more tonal. Look at those. What's that gold? So I only have one of these, one of each of these. The purple and black. Anything with black. Hi, Diane. So for those of you that jump on, I just thought of this because I saw Diane just pop on. If you jump on late, once I'm done with the video, you should be able to go back to the page and see it. It should post afterwards. If you're watching this on a replay, make sure you tell me that you're watching it on a replay. I like to know who saw later. Holly, let me know, were you able to finally get the video to load last week? I think I asked you, but I don't remember what you said. Okay, so back to this shawl. Look at, I mean, for one skein, that's a pretty hefty project. Not hefty in terms of bulky, but one skein. I wanted to find a good pattern for this because it is luxurious. So this is one of her new bases to me. I don't even remember what she calls it, but it's alpaca and silk and cashmere. Loveliness. I am going to have a busy week this week. If all goes as planned, knock on wood, if all goes as planned, I will be getting 2 boxes from Bridiculous, and 1 huge box from Dream in Color on Wednesday. That's the day I thought didn't exist in my mind. So now it's going to be really busy. Hi, Barbara. So I will have this color and this yarn in stock later this week. If you come in on Black Friday or Small Business Saturday, you'll get to see them in person. But I did make sure I got this color in this yarn. Because it's alpaca, silk, and cashmere, they do run a little bit more. I believe they're $28.50. I'm gonna have to double check on that. But that doesn't sound right. They're more expensive than the Smushy with Cashmere. Those are. I'll get back to you guys on that. Hi, Pat, finally able to watch live. Hi, Debbie. So this is called, I think this is something sunset. I can't remember. So Wednesday, I will be getting boxes in. I will have this color and others here in stock. If you want me to set one of those aside for you, I can more than certainly do that, but I'll have other colors too. I will make sure next Monday that we go through some of those things, maybe, but I'll post pictures for sure because lots of cool stuff. It's, Sarah said it touches so nice. It is lovely. I'm just sitting here squishing it. And the pattern is, I mean, that's 3-peat. There's a little bit of texture, drop stitches. This, if any of you have done Casa Pinka's, well, a lot of her designs have the like knit 3 together, yarn over and knit 3 together sort of technique. That's kind of what this is, but the way she has you do it, it's really easy. You're not fighting with the stitches, which I love. Other than that, it's a lot of garter. So it's a great TV watching project, flying on the plane, sitting in the airport. That's how I got a lot of it done, or sitting in the car. So that's what I finished. What am I working on? I have two projects in the works currently. I am finally binding off the bottom ribbing on my still water. You guys, my color is not looking right today, and I just realized I never turned my ring light on, but that's okay. Many of you have seen this before. So I'm down to the bottom and the ribbing. But what I wanted to show you, see how I have safety pins in there, or these little pair pins? First of all, it doesn't call for the ribbing to be this long. It calls for like 3 inches of ribbing, but she also tells you to stop at a certain point in the repeat, and the repeat goes from here to here. So I had just started a repeat when I started my ribbing, so I had to do a whole nother repeat. If you make this, you don't have to do that. Be the boss of your knitting. This is where it gets to me when I'm trying to follow the pattern the way it's written so other people can duplicate it. But on the bottom edge, a lot of people ask about when it says bind off in pattern, or if it doesn't say bind off in pattern. This one has you bind off on the wrong side. Hi, Elaine. Yes, it is Chesapeake Sunset, Melissa. Couldn't find the base online. Yeah, it's like it's a new exclusive one. I got a couple others too, you guys. Sparkles, DK weight sparkles. Ah! Okay, so back to binding off. So right here along this edge from here to the marker on the wrong side, I bound off in pattern. So what that means is if I see a knit stitch, I knit it before I bind it off, pass it over. If I see a purl stitch, I purl it. So what you get on the front is a very clean edge. And this one, it's gonna roll a little bit at this front. So between these two markers, I bound off knitwise. What that means, because I was on the wrong side, is that you see purls on that. This is the right side of the work. I know it's hard to see because, so there's the stockinette. Down at the bottom, you would see all these purls because I'm binding off on the wrong side and knitting. Then I bound off purl wise. So going from here across, purl a stitch, pass it over, purl a stitch, pass it over. Then you see all of the knit stitches on the right side, whether it's a purl or a knit. I will probably back this out and bind it off in pattern. With ribbing, I feel like it follows the waves of the ribbing a little bit better instead of kind of straightening it out. But we'll see. Next week, hopefully I'll either have a sleeve or sleeves to show, partial sleeves. Although maybe not, because yeah, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, whatever Monday is something. All I can think is mechanical, and I know that's not the word. Oh, you guys know what I mean. So I may not have a lot of knitting time this week. So that's the one thing I'm working on. The other thing that I'm working on, I'll show you the picture of the pattern first, because it's huge when I hold it up, is a cat cocoon. Cyber Monday, thank you, Noelle. And Giving Tuesday, yes. Okay, so some of you know we got a cat, and she's not an indoor cat, she's an outdoor cat, but we have kind of conceded in that we've set up a place for her in the garage. Rod actually put a cat door in the side, which I never thought he would do something like that. So he's mostly accepted it, but it's still going to be chilly out there. It is an attached garage, but, and no, it's not going to eventually come in the house. My allergies are too bad. My dad's allergies are too bad, but look at how stinking cute that is. You see how adorable? So it's felted. You hold worsted weight yarn, 2 strands together on size 15 needles. And this is what I have so far. Look at this thing. It looks like one of those, this is gonna date me, but I bet some of you will understand. On Sesame Street. They had the yip yip guys. Yip 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 yip. That's what it reminds me of. It's gigantic, but if you've ever felted anything, you know this is where you have to start in order to get that smaller final product. I am on the decreases on the top. It's just slow going. Now you guys are laughing at me. I know. This is why you watch, right? You watch a little bit for the knitting and a little bit for the free entertainment. Holly, one popped up on your Facebook feed. Yes, I think everybody's cats need this. I'm curious to see how big it's actually going to be once it's all done and felted. The felting process itself, I feel like is going to take a bit of time because it is so big, but I want to make sure it's good and dense and she can really get in there. And it uses 6 skeins if they're standard 100-gram skeins of worsted weight. And what I did was, obviously, I held 2 different colors together. So I just switched to a red. I have a dark blue, a light blue, and now I'm switching to a red because I have a huge pile of Malabrigo worsted, not washted, but worsted. It's been a base that they've had around for a while. And every time I put an order in with Malabrigo, I have them throw a bag of a mixed lot. So they set aside skeins that maybe didn't come out the color they wanted it, or it's got 1 or 2 more knots than what they would like. And I can buy those as kind of a mixed bag, which is kind of cool. We get different colors that that they may not have in their regular line. However, some of you have heard or learned that if you see one that says single lot and you don't get it, I can't get it again. And it's probably not going to be there the next time you see it. Melissa asked if I hand felt or dryer felt. This will be, the way I did it before, it was mostly done in the washer and not so much in the dryer, just switching between hot and cold. But honestly, I've only felted 2 other things. I felted a bag and a pair of slippers, and it's been a while. So I don't know if you guys have felted things, put it in the comments and tell us how you've done it. Holly's never felted. I wanted to do a class, but there's not an easy way to get really hot water here to felt something. But first I need to figure out what I'm doing. So that's the other thing I'm working on. So as I was saying though, I grabbed 3 skeins of the Malabrigo worsted, and to keep it a little bit more cost effective, I'm holding it with a strand of Universal Yarns Deluxe worsted. And I just picked like a gray, a bluey gray. I'm curious to see what it looks like once it's felted down. Oh, I did make a pair of felted mittens too. I'm gonna have to show those to you guys because they're really cool. There's a felted mitten pattern. I don't know, I think it's probably in my projects, but what's neat about it is only the hand of the mitten is felted. The cuff is knit with a superwash wool. So when you felt it, it doesn't felt. It's pretty cool. Washer and dryer felting. Josie says, washer, hot water, check often, rinsing cold when done. When done felting, shape. Yes. Marsha, sending you love too. Hopefully things get back on course soon for you. So 6 skeins of feltable wool. It's so big, it doesn't even fit in my big project bag anymore. It's like its own project bag, but I'm sort of thinking this will be a Christmas present either for the cat or for Victoria, because it is Victoria's cat that she really, really, really wanted to have. She's black and white. She's very cute. Ooh, since I'm using the shop phone, I bet I can show you guys a picture. Her name is Skara, as in Scaramouche. I'll let that sit there with you. Go ahead, start singing Queen. But she says that's not where she got the name from. It is the same word, the Scaramouche, but she says it's from a character in a game she plays. I can find a picture though, I promise. Look at how cute she is. She's just a little thing, black and white. She's adorable. How can you not love that little face? So yeah, she's Victoria's cat, but I conceded. Cora, has anybody ever felt it in a 5-gallon bucket and a plunger? Saw it done once. Huh. I feel like that would make a big mess. I'm curious about it though. It seems like it would just throw stuff everywhere. So those are what I'm working on. Coming up next, I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe a hat for my hubby, but I don't know. So in talking about a hat for my hubby, what made me think of that is one of these new yarns that I got. So Earth, as you know, has done every once in a while, they do limited edition colors. So this was their Pantone, the grays and yellows in different weights. The Harmony slow striping rainbow yarn that I used for my topographical scarf was one of their limited editions. They have a new one out. It's Hanukkah, but it's Detroit Lions colors too. Special edition. So this is the DK weight. Look at that. It really even looks like the Honolulu blue that they have. So this is DK. 100 grams, 300 yards. I got a couple bags of that because come on. So I might make my husband a hat out of one of these. Melissa, of course you need one. Everybody needs one. So details, price is $26.50 for a skein. It's DK yarn, 300 yards, plenty in there to do a hat. But I like that one a lot. As I gave you guys a sneak peek before, I got green in the, oh, these ones are snap. The last time I got these kits, they were zippers. This time they're snaps. And they're a little bit out of order. Colors are pretty close on this one. That green is dark, dark. But look at that. It goes back to that, the ugly green, olive green. So I have a few left of the other kits. I think I have a blue and a couple of the, I don't know why I can't see them from here, but those come with the pattern for the garden trellis shawl I showed last week, and they're $52.99. You said yellow and gray. Yes, I feel like we talked about that one before. Also, finally, because I have had a lot of people comment on the purple in my still water. So the yarn is Earth also. It's one of their natural dyes, blueberry. Turns out I can get that in fingering. So I ordered a bag of their fingering weight. This one looks a little bit more solid. It's a beautiful color. And I'm sure once you get in there, you'll see a little bit of the hand-dyed lights and darks. But so this is their harvest fingering. 100 grams, 430 yards, 100% extra fine superwash merino. We're talking about, we were talking about the plies in the yarn, and it's hard to see in this, but Earth has a pretty unique process with the way they do their yarns. They start with a very, very fine 2-ply yarn, and then they join those plies together to get the size, the thickness that they want. So in this, I think it's 3 of those 2 plies. In the DK, it's 5 or 6. So you get it fluffier. Obviously, you get a heavier weight yarn. Jackie, need DK for the Stephen West December 26th thing. So that's hibernating, right? He's got 2. Stephen West is a designer, for those of you that don't know, and he does a hibernating knit along. And he released the two patterns. They're two shawl patterns. One is a semicircle, one is a traditional triangle. So Jackie's saying we might need DK yarn for that. So I got some of that in. And then this was on the top of the box, and I almost just opened this box last week and put it all away, but this beautiful, beautiful thing was right on the very top, a bag of this. So this is their base called monochrome, or the dye method called monochrome. It's monochromatic, all greens, all shades of greens. Most of the time when I see this knit up as something on its own, it gradiates light, dark, very slowly. But this color is just, I don't know. I don't think there's any way for it to come across the screen as vibrant. I mean, I would call this a straight up Kelly green. Like, it just screams everything they try to market for St. Patty's Day, but I love that green. So those are 24, that might not be right. The purple is $24.99. Monochrome, do I have it in another color? Let me see. I think I do. Now that my wall is sorted by color, it should be easier to see. I think I have blue. One moment, please. Okay, I do. $26.50. So the blues I have here in the store. This is what I used for my Breathe and Hope shawl that we did during the shutdown. I used this with Ridiculous's, not this, yeah, this color, with Ridiculous's Sweater Weather, which should be in that box. How would that green be for the garden trellis shawl? This bright green, Tammy? Let me know if you mean the bright green or the olivey greens. Does it have sparkles? It does not have sparkles. Cable trellis, semicircle, 500 yards, solid, 500 yards, striping. Jackie, that might work. Julie just put info in there about needing solid and a self striping. So I have a couple colors of that too. Keep that in mind. So the monochrome changes colors slowly, a little bit back and forth between light and dark. Sarah, how many yards? 435. 100% extra fine superwash merino. And it doesn't, of course, there's no name. It's just color 3058. 3056. But that was in a bag right on top of the box. So other than I had to open the box for a customer to get her yarn that had been custom ordered for her, I saved everything else to show you guys. Hasn't gone out on the shelves yet. Julie, the triangle one also takes the same amount of yarn for the Stephen West. Sarah, the bright green, that would work well. You would need two of them, Tammy, because the garden trellis is written for one of these kits, which is 200 grams of fingering weight yarn for 450 gram skeins each. So you would need two of these lovelies in order to do that garden trellis shawl. So Ridiculous is coming in this week. Dreaming Color is coming in this week. Finally, I am getting another batch of my Saginaw Sunset color. I'm pretty sure this is the last batch from them. I mean, it's a big batch, and I think I'll actually finally be able to put some out on the shelf, which has not happened yet. It's been a very popular color. I love it. It's that gray color that I used in my shawlography that we just finished from Stephen West. plus some other beautiful things, of course. Tips and techniques. I have a note here about pearl string. You guys, it's so dry in here. Sorry. Let me reach. So a lot of you snagged some of the pearl strings that come in these cute little tins, little strands of tubing. This little tip came up because Jackie was in here lamenting about something, and it didn't occur to her. It probably wouldn't have occurred to me either, but after the fact, we talked about it. Jackie was knitting the crisscrosses on her Stephen West shawl and her cable broke. Thankfully, it didn't go too far without her being able to catch it and put things back on. But she got talking about how she then had to transfer everything from the broken end of the cord to a new needle with a new cord. This is my little sample piece. This would work phenomenally for that. You could get one end onto the broken cord, put the other end on your needle, and be able to slide everything through. It would have made her life so much easier. It would be slow going because of all those wraps and stuff, but it still would be much faster than just moving them one at a time. I needed these earlier today when I was working on a different project too. I had to put some stitches on hold. Melissa tried mine the other day, super skeptical it would stick on the needle, but it totally did. Yes, they're pretty awesome. So if you don't have any of these pearl strings, they're $15. You get 3 cords in here. This one's just a little mini one to show a sample, but they're really, really long cords, long enough that you could pretty much knit any size sweater and be able to put it through your stitches to be able to try things on. I feel like, yes, Melissa says felt very Chinese finger trap-esque. I completely agree. Oh, I think I have to take a layer off, you guys. At least undo it once. My hair is getting so long, it's getting into everything. Okay. That's the yarn we have to talk about. I did want to talk about what's coming up with Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, all of that. I mentioned last week, and don't tell anybody, but I do have the link up on the website to be able to purchase gift certificates with the bonus, the little additional fiber funds. You won't see it if you try and go to the website and purchase them. I have to do that on my end after it's been complete, but the link is there to be able to go and buy gift certificates through the website. I do have a note on there. Normally anything you order on my website, it goes through PayPal. The gift certificates go through Square. That's how I can keep it a little bit differently and make sure you get your bonus. So, sorry, it's telling me my AirPods are going to die soon. I will be putting more information out there about it, but I was kind of trying to get some things done ahead of time, and that's out there. So officially, the bonus fiber funds start with gift certificate purchases Friday. So for every $50 you spend on gift certificates for the shop, which they never expire, you can find them 5 years later and still use the amount that's on there. Oh, look, Melissa found the link for it. You get $10 in bonus fiber funds, we call them. So think Kohl's Cash, or I think Macy's had a thing like that at one point too. The fiber funds are good all the month of January. And there's no limit. Can you buy? Yes, but you can buy gift certificates at the shop. You can call and do it over the phone. I've done it through Messenger on Facebook, and of course on the website. We will not be able to do the promotion in store until Friday though. and there's no limit, and you don't have to buy, like if you want to spoil yourself and buy $250 worth of gift cards for the shop, you don't have to buy 5 separate $50 cards. You can buy $250 worth as one transaction. You get one certificate. As long as it's all for you, why would you not do it that way? It saves me a little bit of money, so I don't have to give you 5 different certificates. But then you get $50 in fiber funds, which look like these little guys. Look how cute they are. Fiber funds. These are all in $10 increments. So if you did that, you bought $250 worth, you'd get 5 of these little guys. Also, starting Friday and Saturday, I'm kind of doing the same promotions both days because I want to encourage people to shop both days. Why would you not shop small Friday and Saturday? And so I appreciate everybody. What I have, which I've done in the past, a few different varieties of, but I have this cute little basket. Isn't that beautiful? Deb bought that for, I think this was the one that she bought for me or for Karen. I think this is the one she bought for me when she went to Rhinebeck, I think. In here are a bunch of different little prize things. There are ones for free patterns. There's one for a bonus $5 fiber funds, which looks like that little guy. There is one 50% off in here. And that will, if it gets drawn on Friday, it will go back in on Saturday. But there are discounts anywhere from 10% to 50% in here. So anybody who comes up the counter and makes a purchase gets to draw from there. And 50% off is yours. If you're ordering things online, because I know some of you are out of town, don't come in the shop. Anything you order online Friday or Saturday, same thing. I can close my eyes and draw for you if you're okay with that. We want to make sure that everybody gets thanked as much as possible. So those are what's happening over the weekend. On Monday with Cyber Monday, my thought is, and maybe now, or if you're watching this on a later or commenting later, I'm thinking about doing like one deal a day, Monday through Friday next week. So I would post it at the same time. Mondays, we would probably talk about on the live. And it will be a kit with yarn, a pattern, and probably not needles unless you need to upgrade and get some needles. I can do that too. But it will be discounted down and only for a certain quantity. And it's only what I have in stock. In the past, I've done this 12 days of Christmas, where we pre-ordered a lot of things and then somebody could come pick everything up at the end and have stocking stuffers or not even stocking stuffers, because some of the things are pretty big, like ball winders. But because I have no idea when I'm getting anything, I don't want to do that. So what do you guys think about that, or ladies, or both? Think about that. If I do a promotion once a day for like Monday through Friday next week, and let's say I post it, I don't know what's better for all of you. I know I have a lot of ladies that are still working, so I want to keep that in mind. So if I post at 7:30 every night, I'm going to try and do a video to give a little bit more information than just still shots do. Probably won't be a live. Monday will be, because we have a live anyways, but yeah, I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about that. I think I think that's it. I think that's all I have on my list. That was enough, right? I've talked your ear off. So this is Thanksgiving week. I am thankful for all of you. I maybe don't say that as often as I should. I feel like I could say it all day, every day. I am thankful for people who choose to spend their money locally to support a small business. Sometimes what I can sell, you can get cheaper online. And I appreciate that you still choose to spend your money and your time with me. I love everything that goes along with it, to be able to help people, to have that sense of community. And yeah, I really just appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope you know that. On that note, I hope you have a lovely Thanksgiving. I hope you pop in and see me. I am here Wednesday. And then Friday and Saturday, the shop is open Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 10 to 6. Otherwise, normal shop hours are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 10 to 6. So I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Pop in and see me on Friday or Saturday. And I will see you all next week. Have a good weekend.